For the first time in franchise history, the Philadelphia Phillies will be playing a postseason Game 7. Last night, the Arizona Diamondbacks beat the Phillies 5-1 in Philadelphia to force a Game 7. I'm going to break down everything you need to know for Game 7 that starts tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The Phillies versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. The winner moves on to the World Series. Let's get into it. On the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks is rookie Brandon Pfaff. He's been really good in the playoffs so far with a 2.13 ERA, but he has struggled in the regular season. If we check it out, guys, he was 3-9 with almost a 6 earned run average and a 1.41 whip. He has not been good pretty much all regular season. Luckily for the Diamondbacks, he's pitched well as of late, but I look for that to change. In Game 3, it was the first time the Phillies ever saw Brandon, so I think they're going to make some adjustments, and I look for the Phillies to be a lot better in Game 7 than they were in Game 3. Pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies is Ranger Suarez. He's been so good in the playoffs. Over his career, almost 30 innings pitched and a .94 earned run average and a .84 whip. But this year, he's been even more dominant. 14 innings pitched in 3 games, a .64 earned run average, and a .64 whip. Those numbers are insane. They're legitimately crazy. They're so good. And in my opinion, I think he should have been the number 2 starter over Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola blew another big game yesterday. For whatever reason, when the game is on the line, a season's on the line, and he really needs to perform, Aaron Nola just doesn't perform. He did not pitch well yesterday, and that's why the Phillies lost. But they also lost because of the bats. Let's break down the lineups for Game 7 of the National League Championship Series. I don't see a ton of lineup changes coming for Game 7 for either team. The only thing that's going to change is for the Arizona Diamondbacks, they're going to flip Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte because there's a lefty on the mound for the Phillies. One of the main reasons the Arizona Diamondbacks were able to find some success yesterday is because they got some contributions from the bottom of the lineup. They had home runs from Tommy Pham and Gurriel Jr., back-to-back bombs, and a big hit by Evan Longoria. Going into Game 6, hitters 4 through 9 in their lineup, they had no one batting over 229, so they were really struggling to get any sort of momentum with the bottom of that lineup. Since they got some in Game 6, they were able to put some runs on the board and play that kind of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball, where we get on, we put pressure on the defense, and we make things happen. The Diamondbacks adding 2 home runs against Aaron Nola really solidified that victory in Game 6. Now, let's move on to the Philadelphia Phillies lineup for Game 7. It's not going to change from any of the previous games. Rob Thompson, the Phillies coach, is stubborn as a mule, and Alec Boehm, who's batting fourth, has been absolutely terrible this postseason, and he's not protecting Bryce Harper. So now the Diamondbacks are just pitching around Bryce Harper, putting him on and letting Alec Boehm beat them, but he hasn't been able to produce at all whatsoever. JT Realmuto is batting in the 6th hole, and his OPS for the postseason is over 200 points higher. He has 3 home runs to Boehm's 0. JT should be batting 4th instead of Alec Boehm, but since Rob Thompson is so stubborn, he's going to stick with this lineup no matter how horrible Alec Boehm is, and you're pretty much taking the bat out of Bryce Harper's hand. They're just going to put him on and let the 4 and 5 hole hitters try to beat him, Alec Boehm and Bryson Stott. So what's going to happen? Are the Phillies going to be able to get it going in Game 7? They have to. They're facing a rookie who had over a 5.7 ERA in the regular season. If they can't beat a rookie in Game 7, they don't deserve to go to the World Series and play the Texas Rangers. But Rob Thompson is kind of a hindrance. Sometimes when things aren't working, you have to adjust. And playoffs for any sports, you have to make adjustments. Rojas is batting 100. That means he's an out every single time he pretty much gets up to the plate during this postseason, and that's just not acceptable. You need contributions from everyone in your lineup. You can't just depend on 2, 3, or even 4 guys. With Castellanos struggling, Boehm struggling, and Rojas an automatic out, you got to bring JT up in the lineup to bat 4th to protect Bryce Harper, and then you have Stott after that, and then you could put Alec Boehm 6th, and then Castellanos in the 7 hole. We'll see what happens. I don't think any adjustments are going to be made because Rob Thompson doesn't like to make changes, but this game is going to be a lot of fun. We have Ranger Suarez, who has been extremely dominant, and Brandon Pfaff for the Diamondbacks, who's been really good in the playoffs too. Something's going to give. And I think both teams don't want to use their bullpens if they don't have to. So I think we're going to see Hopefully these pitchers go 4, 5, 6 innings. Hopefully even more for both teams, but it should be a really good game. Citizens Bank Park is going to be rocking tonight, and I'm hoping the Phillies can harness that energy and turn it into a W. There's a rookie on the mound against the Phillies. They need to capitalize against a guy who struggled pretty much the entire regular season with a +5 ERA. And Ranger Suarez needs to come out dealing. Hopefully Rob Thompson gives him a little bit of a longer leash. I don't want to see the Phillies bullpen if they don't have to. Who's going to win this game? I think the Phillies win this game, a close game, 6-5. Philadelphia Phillies will go on to the World Series and play the Texas Rangers. Let's go, Phillies! Woo! Like, subscribe. Peace!